from 3 to 6 months to 3 years. Drug corruption still among Duterte's woes. Metro Manila, CNN Philippines, July 22nd. 3 years ago on the campaign trail, then Davao City Mayor Rodrigo Duterte promised to end drugs and corruption in 3 to 6 months if he is elected president. Fast forward 3 years to his fourth State of the Nation address, SONA. Duterte still talks about these woes, leaving him exasperated and even wishing, albeit in jest, for the big one to come. The Philippines is so corrupt, it's so lousy that if you kill all congressmen, the senators, the president, we'll have a new day, Duterte said Monday. I pray if the earthquake comes, it comes now. While that was a clear joke, he was also clearly serious when he made his first pitch to Congress for restoration of death penalty for drug-related offenses and plunderers. The plenary hall erupted in applause as Duterte continued prodding for capital punishment for drug-related offenses, but was silent when he quickly added that he also wants plunder punished by death. I have identified the enemy who dumped us in the quagmire we are in. I have met the enemy face to face and sadly, the enemy is us, Duterte said. We are our own tormentors. We are our own demons. We are rapacious predators preying on the weak. Was uncovered and sacking hundreds of his appointees, despite having security of 10 years. But despite these efforts, Duterte admitted that the illegal drug problem persists and that corruption continues and emasculates the currency. We need to retain our moral recovery initiative. He said corruption is found everywhere in government, with left him prodding yet again the military and the police to mount a coup d'etat against him. Left square bracket I too want to resign. Right square bracket I am not happy anymore. You want to take over by your coup? Go ahead, Duterte said. And ensure that permits are released in 3 days. Duterte has long projected an image that he is tough on corruption, having vowed not to tolerate even a whiff of corruption in government. However, the president has also been hit for recycling, and even promoting government officials he had already fired for involvement in alleged anomalies. Allowing Chinese fishermen to fish in Reco Bank, which is in the Philippines' exclusive economic zone in exchange for Filipino fishermen getting back access to Scarborough Shoal. When I said I allow, that was on the premise that I own the property. Pero hindi kayo left square bracket, but we are not right square bracket in control of the property, Duterte said. The Philippines lost control of Scarborough Shoal following a standoff in 2012 with China, which ended when Manila's ships withdrew in keeping its end of the Washington brokered agreement to move away from the sea feature. Beijing, however, stayed and has been in control of the area since then. Left square bracket, that's the problem. They are right square bracket in possession and claiming all the resources there as an owner. We are claiming the same, but we are not in the position because of that fiasco, Duterte said. He said under the arbitral award, the Philippines can enter into fishing agreements under certain conditions. He added that China is invoking traditional fishing rights over the waters, which he claimed is recognized by the arbitral tribunal created under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea and backed by the Hague-based Permanent Court of Arbitration. China has been claiming virtually the entire South China Sea by invoking historical rights, but this was struck down by the arbitral ruling issued in 2016. The tribunal also said that China has violated the Philippines' sovereign rights over waters within its 200 nautical mile EEZ. Traditional fishing applies only in the territorial sea and archipelagic waters. There is no traditional fishing in the EEZ, Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio said in a statement after Duterte's SONA. Traditional fishing is artisanal fishing using small, simple fishing boats. The Chinese steel-hulled trawlers cannot qualify for traditional fishing. Duterte reiterated that avoiding armed conflict over the waters and protecting the country's maritime rights is a delicate balancing act. Nevertheless, he stressed that the West Philippine Sea belongs to the Philippines, but Manila's claim over the area would have to be CNN Philippines tried asking Chinese Ambassador Zhao Jianhua for comment, but he declined. Aside from Duterte, his longtime aide-turned senator, Christopher Bongo, also turned out to be a star of the SONA. though was repeatedly mentioned during the president's speech and was prominently shown all throughout the event. The first bills that go filed in the Senate were consecutively mentioned by Duterte during his speech, as he enumerated the measures he would like Congress to pass. Are additional benefits for solo parents, the establishment of barangay, village, and malapit centers, the postponement of the May 2020 Village and Youth Council poll, the Magna Carta for barangay, the establishment of a new department for overseas Filipinos, and a centralized agency overseeing water supply. He also prodded Congress to pass a new salary standardization law which would give government employees, including teachers and nurses, a pay hike, and to create a new department on disaster resilience. Incidentally, these are also among the first 10 bills so filed. Let's swear graphic, just make sure that these become true, or else we'll embarrass ourselves, right? Swear graphic, Duterte said. So has been described by some of his colleagues in the Senate as a link to Malacanang. Political science professor Jean Franco told CNN Philippines that the senator could be considered Duterte's mole in the upper chamber. Duterte had to press Congress again for some of his administration's measures which did not clear the legislative mill. Among them is his administration's second tax reform package, which would lower corporate income tax but would cut corporate tax incentives. Lawmakers were spooked to tackle the bill following the backlash on the first tax reform package, which lowered personal income tax rates but hiked excise taxes on fuel products and other goods and services. Duterte also called on Congress to pass the remaining packages of his tax reform program. He also renewed his administration's push for higher taxes on tobacco and alcohol. The president also made a pitch for his administration's economic bills, which are largely centered on reforms. These include changes to the property valuation system and the rationalization of capital income taxation. Other bills he wants Congress to pass are the Government Right-Sizing Bill, the National Academy of Sports for high school students, Bureau of Fire Protection Modernization Program, the National Land Use Act, the National Defense Act, and the revival of Mandatory Reserve Officers Training Course Program. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.